Well, you know him from the Border Patrol. You also know him as the voice of Sporting Kansas City. Nate Bukaty joining me. And Nate, this team has really started to turn it on. And there's been some absentees this week going into this one. How will they fare with those guys gone this week?
You know, they've really shown a good amount of depth so far this year. I think maybe most notably in the last game, one of the players that's going to be out this time around, we think, is Jerso, who went down with the dislocated shoulder in the game against Portland. And the guy that comes in for him is the guy that scores the goal to tie things up, Daniel Shalhoub, just 20 years old. But you're right, 3 guys gone on international duty, 1 guy suspended, another guy injured. These are all 5 very important parts, almost half of your starting lineup. But so far this year, the depth has been really good for this team, so I still like their chances to keep that unbeaten streak alive at home.
You know, I talked to Peter and I asked him, I said, you know, obviously when you've got so many guys gone, it's got to affect your chemistry. And he was pretty blunt about it. He says, yeah, it kind of screws things up the way these guys play. But, you know, all in all, what does a team like this have to do when you have so many missing faces and so much talent gone?
One of the things that Peter does talk a lot about, though, is working with the same philosophy at every level of the organization, even down to the academy kids, to the Swope Park Rangers, to the backups, and so that when the time comes that they have to come in, they know the system, they know their responsibilities, and they know what's expected of them when they go on the field. The quality might not be exactly the same. I mean, how can it be when you're losing some of the best players in the entire country? The guys that fall in might not be exactly at the same level of quality, but in terms of knowing their responsibilities and how to fit in with the team, they're ready to go. And he has really done a good job of putting some good, young, talented players as backups on this team.
You get to see this squad all over the country. You travel with them, but there's no place like Children's Mercy Park. I mean, the cauldron, the fans, the chanting. What's your favorite part about calling these games and seeing this fan base here?
You know, there's no doubt there's times when I'm calling the games at Children's Mercy Park, well, I'll just shut up on purpose so that people can hear the crowd, because the atmosphere in the place gives you goosebumps. And I think we want the viewers at home to be able to see and hear what that atmosphere is really all about. But you're right, this team, and I think this is the time, going back to what we just talked about in terms of the depth being questioned a little bit here right now, or tested right now with some players being out, that crowd can kind of be the thing that boosts up the rest of the players. And they've talked about that. They've said, look, we're in a tough stretch of games, missing some guys. You get, though, on the field at Children's Mercy Park, and that crowd starts going crazy. It just elevates everybody on the field, and I think that makes a big difference.
Big difference right here, big difference at Children's Mercy Park. They're expecting to see you out there. For Nate Bukaty, I'm D. Jackson. We'll see you at the game.